to sign up to be a part of our Dave & Buster's halftime juggling competition. The winner will receive a Silverbacks and Dave & Buster's gift bag. Visit one of the two Silverbacks promotional tables by the lower and upper entrances and enter to win your spot.
Harry, talk about this game with Atlanta, coming off another draw, but you guys have found some opportunity in the Open Cup this year.
Yeah, I think when you're struggling in the season like we are to find wins, I think you look at other ways to not only build momentum, but also, possibly get some silverware out of the year. I think, we're going to take it as seriously as we do a regular MLS game, especially getting down to the quarterfinals now. We realize you only have 3 more games till we win a trophy, so hopefully we have a good game tomorrow night.
This is a tournament that this club has got a lot of rich history in, and it's an opportunity to advance, to get ourselves in the semifinal and one step closer to lifting the trophy. So we're excited about it.
And what do you guys know about Atlanta? They got a few guys suspended for this match, and obviously a second division team you're not necessarily all that familiar with.
Yeah, I actually watched most of their game against Colorado. They got 3 red cards or whatever, so I think it was not the most ideal game in terms of, watching in order to scout them when they're playing with 8 people. But, they're going to be, it's going to make their season. I think whenever they get to play against an MLS team, they came out against Colorado and fought hard and kind of worked for 90 minutes in order to get a result. So I think we just got to be prepared for anything, and they might have a few tricks up their sleeves, but we're just going to have to be ready for it.
I think that we know, obviously, Eric Winalda, who's their coach, and we know that they're going to be coming. It's a big opportunity for them, like all these games against, both league teams, but also teams in lower leagues. So, we're coming at it with, throwing the kitchen sink at them.
CJ, first, just give us the importance of the Open Cup to the Fire. You find yourself in the quarterfinals again. It's a tournament that you guys have underscored to the team, importance of winning.
It's definitely a tournament that we take serious, and we go to win every year. So nothing's going to change this year. We're going with the mentality of winning every game to get us into the final and hopefully win the whole thing.
Atlanta's missing a few guys from the last round, 3 players suspended against Colorado. What do you know about their strengths?
I mean, obviously the 3 guys they lose is very, very important, but with Eric Winalda behind them and giving them the confidence to come on the field, they've done very well, obviously, to get where they're at now. So I don't see it a big drop-off. They're at home on turf, so it's going to be a tough game for us. We can't go in there in the mindset thinking that it's just going to be an easy game. So we're focusing on a real competitive game, and I know those guys are going to be ready. They're decent in the attack. They have a lot of guys that like to get forward, so we've got to be aware of their outside wingers and their central midfielders.
Health-wise, how's the team coming off of a hot one in Kansas City and probably another hot one Wednesday in Atlanta?
So far good. I mean, all the guys are frustrated because we're not training hard enough for them today, which I think is a great sign. There's a lot of guys that are eager to get on the field after the Kansas City game, which we thought would be the exact opposite. We thought we were going to have to really take it easy on them. So I'm actually excited to see what it's going to look like. I spoke with the whole group, and everybody, each one of them said they want to play. So that's going to make it obviously difficult for us to figure out who we're going to put on for this game and then also be ready for New England. So at the end of the day, we're going to go to win this one, so it should be a good group.
This time he'll get it from 12 yards out. And he scores! But Rosny's restart. The header runs off. Klopas scores! Frankie Klopas becomes the hometown hero, and the Fire does the double. Here's a chance. Onside, Rosen! Yes, Steichka! Good! Beasley's got a break on the left. Beasley! Oh! Tyrone Marshall put it in his own net. Chicago Fire are the 2000 Lamar Hunt U.S. Open Cup champions. In the midfield. Whitfield in front! Tomori! Ralph! The Chicago Fire have done it! For the third time, they have won the Lamar Hunt U.S. Open Cup. It's Matt. Finds C.J. Brown. Hello! Digba! Flags down! Turns the ball. And the Chicago Fire, the 2006 champions.
Good evening and welcome, Silverbacks Park, where tonight the Chicago Fire will look to cement their place in the US Open Cup semi-final for the second straight year. Tonight's opponents, MLS Slayers, the Atlanta Silverbacks. This is a truly historic evening for the Silverbacks. It's the club's first ever appearance in a tournament quarter-final. En route to tonight's match, Atlanta has beaten MLS sides Real Salt Lake and the Colorado Rapids, and in that Rapids game, three of their players, key players, Kwadwo Poku, Jaime Chavez, and Borfor Carr, all sent off, all suspended for tonight's match. For the Chicago Fire, well, they'll line out in a traditional 4-4-2 formation. Mike McGee and Quincy Amarikwa to spearhead the attack. In goal, Sean Johnson grew up just 8 miles down the road in Lilburn, Georgia. Now in his home state, facing his hometown of Atlanta, and a team that's very confident in facing MLS opposition. Referee for tonight's game, Edvin Jurasevich. Chicago Fire playing from right to left against the team in white, the Atlanta Silverbacks. Head coach for the Silverbacks, of course, Eric Winalda, also suspended for tonight's game, along with Ricardo Montoya, assistant coach, all sent off in that fracas against Colorado in Mile High City on June 24th.
Sponsor of your Atlanta Silverbacks, the premier professional employer organization.
Now, Bakari Sumari.
Helps employers cut costs without compromising quality in human resource services.
First touch there for Jeff Laurentowicz.
Today, support your greatest asset, your people, with expertly administrated employee benefits, workers' compensation.
Speaking with Jeff Laurentowicz earlier today, he said the key is to get at this Atlanta team nice and early, facing MLS opposition. They'll be very confident in getting a result. Got to put the wind out of their sails very quickly. Offside call against Dion McCauley, Belize international, and a very interesting story. Dion McCauley will spearhead the attack by himself tonight. Pablo Cruz in behind. McCauley scored 11 goals for Belize in World Cup qualifying games. The highest scorer in the world. Believe me, folks, I'm not lying to you. 3 players scored 11 goals in qualifying. Belize, of course, did not make the World Cup, but 2 other players also scored 11 goals. They go by the names of Robin van Persie and Luis Suarez. So Dion McCauley, a real threat for the Fire tonight, will look to get in behind. A roasting hot day here in Atlanta, Georgia. Still extremely hot. Just after 7:30 Eastern. It was 90 degrees for most of the day, and you'd imagine with the artificial turf, it was a lot hotter down there on the pitch for the players. Junior Sandoval gets it down to Sosa. Sosa back inside to Cruz. Cruz lifts it across, falls for Junior Burgos. And an effort that Jesus Gonzalez will surely forget about in no time.
Fans, today could be your lucky
On the weaker
day.
left
Stop
foot.
by the Silverbacks promotional tables located near both stadium entrances.
A poor
And
effort,
register
never
to
going to trouble
participate
Sean
in the
Johnson.
Georgia Lottery Crossbar Challenge.
Sean Johnson, his parents are in attendance tonight from down the road, of course, just 8 miles, like I said, in Lilburn, Georgia. Mother Joy, father Everett,
Of course, Georgia Lottery tickets.
and he requested a whopping 75 tickets for family and friends, all here at the beautiful Silverbacks Park. Now Blair Gavin, the catalyst behind a lot of what the Atlanta Silverbacks do in the centre midfield. Sosa. Gavin again. Good pressure there from Jeff Laurentowicz. But a poor pass. Quincy Amarikwa looking for Logan Pause. Chicago Fire, kings of the Cup. We all know about the history with the US Open Cup in Chicago, 1998, 2000, 2003, and 2006. And plenty of Fire fans, wherever you are in the United States, cheering on your side tonight. The official watch party, of course, in AJ Hudson's on Ashland and Grace in Lakeview, Chicago. So hello to all the fans in AJ's. That's a great ball across to Sandoval. He's inside the Fire defense, gets his shot off. And what a save from Sean Johnson. The Fire defense fell asleep. Greg Cochran caught at sea. And Junior Sandoval left in acres of space and couldn't finish. A glorious opportunity. Sandoval enjoying his second stint with the Atlanta Silverbacks. Born and raised in Honduras. And what a chance for the NASL side here, nice and early. In under 5 minutes, the best chance falls to the underdogs. Now Sosa. Nice ball inside, good tackle from Greg Cochran. Sandoval switches the play beautifully. And Matt Watson sees that ball go out. Referee Edvin Jurasevich points for a goal kick to the Chicago Fire.
Fans, to talk about sports, you have to live it.
But already you can see the pace that Atlanta possesses on the flanks.
Does just that. Catch Silverbacks game
Sosa
highlights and more.
and Sandoval on this near right-hand side. Mike Randolph, former LA Galaxy player, alongside Junior Burgos on the left-hand side. It's the first ever meeting between the sides, the Atlanta Silverbacks and Chicago Fire, on a truly memorable and historic night for the Silverbacks. First ever time playing in a quarter-final of a competition and looking confident very early on. Again, beautiful crossfield ball. Sandoval looking dangerous. Tucks inside, gets the shot off on his left foot. And as the crowd go wild, Sean Johnson sees the ball pass tamely past his far post. Not a bad effort from Junior Sandoval. 2 goals already this season. Less than 7 minutes in, he's flirting with scoring again. Good tackle in the center midfield from Jeff Laurentowicz, but again the Chicago Fire sloppy with the ball. Sandoval in plenty of space once more. He's been the star of the show. Tucks it inside to Pablo Cruz. Gavin once more. Chicago Fire sit off the Atlanta Silverbacks. Sosa inside. Blair Gavin. Again, switches the play. Mike Randolph. Junior Burgos. Much better pressing there from Matt Watson. But it's Atlanta with the ball once more. Lovely lofted ball over the top. Randolph, and that's comfortable for Sean Johnson. First time lofted clearance from Johnson to the onrushing Quincy Amarikwa. But as you'll see, this Atlanta back 4 and back 2 in particular, Ramiro Canavas and Beto Navarro love to play very, very deep. They don't want that battle of pace against Quincy Amarikwa. Derby Carrillo goes long. Pause, a first real touch in the center midfield for Logan Pause. Chicago Fire just looking to calm things down ever so slightly. It's been a positive start for the home side. Very difficult conditions here. Chicago going back to 2010. Disappointing record on turf. 2-12-4 on the artificial stuff. With wins at New England in 2010 and Rochester the following year. It's a tough stretch for the Chicago Fire. 4 games in 11 days. Many felt that head coach Frank Yallop might mix things up with the lineup, rest some players, but just goes to show you the importance of this cup competition for the Chicago Fire. No other Major League Soccer side has won as many games, or has won as many trophies, I should say, with 4. DC and Seattle have 3. Depending on the result, both here and later this evening, between Portland and Seattle, that will determine who will play in the semi-final. That game would be on August 13th. So if the Fire win, that's a matchup on the road against Seattle or Portland. Good running from Quincy Amarikwa. Looked to me like Ramiro Canavas had his arms all over Quincy Amarikwa, as Amarikwa has words with Mr. Jurasevich, the man in the middle. Nice play from Sosa to get the clearance, but well read from Baki Sumari. Amarikwa fancies his chances once more. Great power and pace from Amarikwa. Gets inside Quincy Amarikwa. Glorious opportunity. And that's an outstanding clearance from Mike Randolph to the rescue for Atlanta. Outstanding individual skill, strength, and composure from Quincy Amarikwa. Here's Grant Ward. Great ball from Ward. And the offside flag goes up against Mike McGee. But good pressure from the Chicago Fire. And once more, you see the threat of Quincy inside Quincy Amarikwa. Glorious opportunity. Outstanding position. That's an outstanding clearance from Mike Randolph. Enjoyed 39 appearances for LA, alongside the likes of Landon Donovan and David Beckham. And in that time, played for a certain Frank Yallop when he was head coach of the Galaxy. Now Mike McGee in behind the back four. Poor ball in the end from McGee. Look for the run of Quincy Amarikwa, and Atlanta play it out with ease. Dion McCauley, the lone striker for the Silverbacks, has his work cut out tonight against the physical John Kennedy Hurtado and Baki Sumari. Now Amarikwa wants it to feet once more. The decision goes in favor of Amarikwa, and a chance for Chicago to maybe put some of the bigger bodies inside the box. Harry Shipp comes across to take it. Chance for maybe, like I said, some of the bigger players in the Chicago Fire team to venture forward, but it wasn't the case. Harry Shipp opted to play it to the right-hand side to Matt Watson. Shipp, twinkle toes on the ball, beautiful pass through from Mike McGee. Comes to nothing. Goal kick, Atlanta.
Of your Atlanta Silverbacks. Wingstop is located just 1 mile inside 285 on Buford Highway. Be sure to redeem your ticket stub at Wingstop and receive
nice sized crowd here inside Silverbacks Park. A stadium that holds 5,000 people on a glorious night for the beautiful game.
Hand-cut fries and cold beer.
Many Chicago Fire fans. Particular shout out to Pete, Marty, Julio, Edith, and Giaco. Fantastic Chicago Fire supporters. Made the long trip in the camper van all the way from Chicago today. 12-hour journey. And after this game is over, they get back in the camper van and do it all again. Now Quincy Amarikwa in behind. Seemed to lean out with the hand. Referee Edvin Jurasevich makes his way over to Amarikwa. Has a brief chat, but keeps the card in the pocket. Great run from Amarikwa. Seemed to use the arm to try and cushion the ball down. Carrillo with the clearance. Fantastic result earlier in the World Cup. Penalty shootout victory for Lionel Messi and Argentina. And a wonderful result for Ramiro Canovas, playing at the back from Buenos Aires, Argentina. All players involved watching that shootout with the fans before the game. Dramatic scenes. I had a chance to catch up with suspended head coach of the Atlanta Silverbacks, Eric Winalda, briefly. Talked a little bit about his Chicago Fire career, a brief career, 29 games, but 13 goals, 7 assists in all competitions. He scored a brace actually for the Fire in the Open Cup in 2001 against the San Diego Flash. Had an assist also in a 3-0 win. I asked him about his favorite memory. He spoke about his debut. Great ball again. Here goes Sandoval in a 1v1 battle with Greg Cochran. Sandoval again goes inside, finds Dion McCauley. Ball comes across, and an easy enough save for Sean Johnson. Junior Burgos afforded plenty of space on that far left-hand side. Good positioning from the big man, Sean Johnson. But again, that battle on this right-hand side, Junior Sandoval proving a real thorn in Greg Cochran's side so far. Laurentowicz. Quincy Amarikwa. Great skill from Amarikwa. hesitates to deliver the cross. Good defending from the Silverbacks. And away goes Ferdy Sosa. You could see what he was trying to do. Junior Burgos on the far left-hand side calling for the ball. He fluffed his lines though, Sosa. Great header down from Laurentowicz to Mike McGee, who wins the free kick. Jesus Gonzalez with the foul. He's a bruiser, Jesus Gonzalez. Someone you could predict that when he gets a chance to go hard on the MLS MVP, you know he'll do it. Now Laurentowicz. McGee. Harry Shipp in space. Finds Grant Ward. Positive from the fire, good clearance. Beto Navarro in a right place, the right time. Now Logan Paz to Jeff Laurentowicz. Shipp stifled out. Huge congratulations to Jeff Laurentowicz and his wife Christy on the birth of their new baby boy, Sebastian, born on Sunday. I spoke with Jeff Laurentowicz a little bit earlier today and on how his world has just changed, and he just brought a big beaming smile. Absolutely delighted. So congratulations from all Chicago Fire fans, fellow players and coaches. Mike McGee, well played. Ward, look at the pressure, the intensity from the Atlanta Silverbacks. Cochran looked for McGee, and McGee stood still. Score update from another quarterfinal. Carolina Railhawks lead Dallas. Can you believe it? Carolina leading 1-0 in the 9th minute. And if Carolina win that game, they will host a semi-final, which would be an absolutely romantic story for the US Open Cup. Carolina Railhawks would face the Philadelphia Union after Union got the better of the New England Revolution last night in a scoreline of 2-0. Good physical play at the back from John Kennedy Hurtado.
Have you gotten associated yet? Well, at Associated Credit Union, anyone can become a member. So apply today, start scoring major savings. As a member, you'll
now Sandoval, absolutely loving this battle so far, enjoying himself. Back to Gavin.
Mortgage rates, online and mobile banking.
Cruz inside to Gavin once more. The crafty left boot of Gavin switches the play to Burgos. He's got Randolph in support, goes for the far corner. What a save from Sean Johnson.
Better than a bank, and anyone can join.
And Johnson gets up and stands tall and says, "I'm at home, Georgia."
Come on, Silverbacks.
It was a cross from the far side, and look at the acrobatic save from the big man, Sean Johnson. 4 international caps for the United States, and you can see why he's the future.
Come on, let's get low.
Jesus Gonzalez with the corner. Good clearance from John Kennedy Hurtado. And the Atlanta Silverbacks, the home side, the team that's never played in a quarterfinal of a cup competition ever, just inches away from taking the lead.
Come on, fans, let's hear it again. Let's go, Silverbacks.
Time corner, Junior Burgos with the in-swinger on the right boot. Sean Johnson once more, safe hands. Jurasevich, the referee, gets in the way. As supporters heckle him here for that. In Silverbacks Park, goes across to Gavin. Again, Gavin tries to switch the play nice and early. It's gone very well in the centre midfield so far for Blair Gavin. A very good player, former Chivas USA, natural leader. 3 assists so far this season, you can see why. Well, I've given shout outs to all the fans watching at AJ Hudson's in Lakeview, to the Chicago Fire fans that have traveled the 12-hour trek from the Windy City all the way here to Atlanta. And I must give a shout out, I can't forget to mention James Black, who just sent me a tweet, watching all the way from Scotland. Fair play to you, James. Keep up the great support. Great cross from Grant Ward. Mike McGee's in space, and he's furious. Quincy Amarikwa went for the spectacular overhead kick when Mike McGee, the MVP, had eyes all over it.
Challenge are Justin Park, Austin Strzezuski, Taylor Greenhut, and Thomas Earnhardt. Again, Justin Park, Austin Strzezuski, Taylor Greenhut, and Thomas Earnhardt. Congratulations. Please meet at the top of section 304 at the 35th minute of the first half. Again, at the top of section 304 at the 35th minute of the first
Greg
half.
Cochran gets there ahead of Sandoval. Gavin now. Gonzalez. Very evident early on here, midway through the first half. 23 minutes gone. Very close contest here. And away goes Dion McCauley. McCauley, 2 goals this season, finds himself in great positions. Wonderful skill, gets it in towards Sandoval. Good defending as Sandoval goes down from the tackle from John Kennedy Hurtado. And Matt Watson takes it into feet. Now Grant Ward puts it out of play.
Silverback fans, if you have a white Cadillac SRX plate VS695,
Junior Sandoval
your car is running. Plate VS695.
is the player that's down. Sean Johnson helps him to his feet. And he limps back to this right-hand side now, Junior Sandoval. It was a tough, robust challenge from John Kennedy Hurtado. Exactly what Fire fans are used to seeing from the Colombian. And some Chicago Fire players used that brief break to take in some water. It's been a feature of the World Cup in Brazil, water breaks and equally hot conditions here in Atlanta, Georgia. Sean Johnson. Quincy Amarikwa does very well to hold off Navarro. Challenge from Grant Ward. Plenty of bite in the tackle from every single Atlanta Silverback player. Sandoval once more. Looking a class act on this right-hand side tonight. What a tackle from Bakari Sumari, who comes away on top. Now Laurentowicz. Grant Ward tucks inside. Logan Paz. Fire fans from all over the world, all over the country watching this stream tonight on a big occasion. Chicago Fire looking to qualify, looking to win tonight and play either Seattle or Portland in the US Open Cup semi-final. I don't need to remind Fire fans, last year the club made the semi-final, disappointing loss to DC, who went on to win it against Real Salt Lake. A side that the Atlanta Silverbacks beat earlier in this competition, June 14th, a 2-1 win after Robbie Finley had put RSL ahead. It was the character and the talent from this Silverback side that brought them back into the game and to win it here in Silverbacks Park. Great tackle from Quincy Amarikwa. Wins the ball back. Amarikwa pace. But again, we talked about the positional sense of Mike Randolph. You could see it there, just tucked inside to help support his centre backs. Wonderful play from the fullback, Mike Randolph, the captain of this side. Now Grant Ward. Mike McGee on a different wavelength to Grant Ward there. Sandoval. Much better from Jeff Laurentowicz. The Fire need to try and match the intensity of the Silverbacks. Gonzalez looks to switch the play, and it is a great ball over the top. But Burgos couldn't get there. Junior Burgos, an interesting player. 3 goals so far in 3 games in this US Open Cup. 2 in a 5-0 trouncing against Chattanooga, and then 1 against Real Salt Lake. We saw it recently in the matchup against Toronto with talent and pace on the flanks against the Fire, and I think you're seeing it again tonight. And in that game, you saw a very talented right back for Toronto, Mark Bloom, who of course graced this pitch here in Atlanta for a few years. A product of the Silverbacks. Not the only quality fullback that the Silverbacks have produced. Chris Clute, talented left back with the Colorado Rapids, also played here. Jeff Laurentowicz, and again, Chicago Fire players.
The 10 Institute is the official
little lack of chemistry so far tonight, but both sides have had glorious opportunities. Quincy Amarikwa with the best chance for the Fire, and another chance when Mike McGee was tearing through on goal after a wonderful cross from Grant Ward, but Amarikwa tried the overhead kick. For the Silverbacks, it's been the man on the right-hand side, Junior Sandoval. He's caused some problems and looked a real player. Excellent tenacity from Jeff Laurentowicz to win the ball back, but referee Jurasevich awards the free kick to the Silverbacks for a foul on Jesus Gonzalez. Gonzalez to take it. Randolph. Now Mike McGee. Instant pressure from that man. And Mike McGee's after kicking out. And Mike McGee could see red here early on for the Chicago Fire. And I've seen a punch on the field. That was Junior Burgos went in and punched Mike McGee in the face. And after a fracas in the game against Colorado, it's all broken loose here at Silverbacks Park. Mike McGee taken away from it from Baki Sumari. Smart play from Sumari. But the referee saw what happened. And you could very well see 2 red cards here. It looked very harmless for Mike McGee, but when you raise your boot like that, particularly off the ball, Mike McGee goes over and shakes the hand of Jesus Gonzalez. The players are having a chat about it. And now referee Edvin Jurasevich has a decision to make. It's red for both players. Both the Chicago Fire and the Atlanta Silverbacks down to 10 men. Mike McGee has seen red here after a half an hour. And I'm just waiting on clarification of who got the red card for Atlanta. And you can clearly see that Jesus Gonzalez connected in the face with Mike McGee. Mike McGee says he didn't know anything about it, but it doesn't matter. The referee has given 2 red cards. And the Chicago Fire players discuss tactics and how they're going to shape up now. Quincy Amarikwa may act as a lone striker And that was a feature that we talked about a little bit early in the broadcast. Jesus Gonzalez, the terrier, the warrior in the center of midfield. He was always going to go after the MLS MVP, Mike McGee. He's a combative player, and he tries to shut out the best players for the opponents. And it was certainly a feature of this game. A couple of early good challenges from Gonzalez. But then you saw that altercation over the far side of the pitch. And the referee gives 2 red cards. Jesus Gonzalez, wearing number 70 for Atlanta, and Mike McGee, number 9, make way. Here we go. 60 minutes to play. 2 teams, 10 men each.
Fans, are you planning on being at all of the Silverbacks home games in the upcoming NASL fall season? Well, check out our fall season ticket packages, which save Silverback fans big money. Fall season ticket packages on sale now, starting as low as $117 for 9 games, right here at Atlanta Silverbacks Park.
A robust challenge from Matt Watson, and the fans are on their feet here once more at Silverbacks Park. A yellow card for the English fullback.
You can also log on to AtlantaSilverbacksFC.com.
A robust challenge seemed to push Junior Burgos into the advertisement boards. And a first yellow card of the game awarded to Matt Watson.
Chicago yellow card.
Silverbacks switch the play.
Number 22, Matt Watson.
Sosa up against Greg Cochran. Gets the cross away. Good clearance from Bakari Sumari and away from Harry Shipp. Again, you can see that space in the pitch now with 2 players sent off. It'll be interesting to see who adapts the quickest before halftime. Chicago Fire, it's as is for the men in red. Simply playing with Quincy Amarikwa up top. And it looks like a lot hasn't changed either for the Atlanta Silverbacks. Blair Gavin operating in the center of midfield, and it looks like Pablo Cruz will drop a little bit deeper. He was playing in that traditional number 10 role for the men in white. He'll drop a little bit deeper
Since
alongside Gavin.
Peachtree Orthopedic Clinic has been supporting Atlanta's professional and amateur athletes. With 31 doctors in 8 locations,
Silverbacks go wide once more. Randolph
keeps your Silverbacks kicking. For Atlanta's
puts inside onto the right foot.
orthopedic solutions, find us on the web at POCAtlanta.com. That's POCAtlanta.com.
Look for the run of Randolph. Cruz once more. Good composed play from Pablo Cruz. Good ball inside for Dion McCauley, who looks to chest it down. And in the 1v1 battle alongside Greg Cochran, it's Cochran that does enough. Logan Pause. Now Harry Shipp. Great pressure, but it was Blair Gavin who was kicking out on Shipp. Laurentowicz opts to take it nice and early. Solid defending in the air from Mike Randolph. Now Gavin. Chicago Fire retreat, get their shape. 2 solid banks of 4 in midfield and at the back. Quincy Amarikwa up top by himself. Gavin once more, dictating everything that goes through the centre of the midfield for the Silverbacks. Canavas to Gavin. Gavin inside, Sandoval. Nice ball from Gavin. Sosa. Perfect control again, looks to get it inside to the on-rushing Burgos on the left-hand side. Didn't work out, but it's the Silverbacks that have the ball once more with Gavin. Certainly the player with the most touches so far in this game. Sandoval looks like he's gone inside, allowing Pablo Cruz come across to the right-hand side. As the Atlanta Silverbacks supporters can be heard in full voice here. Nice attempt. Cruz looking for the run of Dion McCauley. Again, one of the most fascinating stats you'll hear. Dion McCauley, Belize international, 11 goals in World Cup qualifying games. The only other players in the world to score 11 goals in World Cup qualifying, they go by the names of Luis Suarez and Robin van Persie. Burgos. This Atlanta side very quick to win the ball back. Laurentowicz through the back of Burgos. That'll be a free kick to the home side.
Silverback fans, Kicks and Sticks time. Kicks-sticks.com is your official World Cup 2014 headquarters. Choose from our wide selection of World Cup 2014 apparel and footwear. Join Kicks and Sticks' Kicks Club at kicks-sticks.com and save big online and in-store for life. Savings couldn't be easier at Kicks and Sticks and kicks-sticks.com. It's the place to go for all of your gear and equipment needs. Located in Buford.
Looking for the run over the top.
And online.
Sean Johnson comes up big time. And that looks like a sore collision. The run of Ramiro Canavas, the central defender. The man from Buenos Aires, Argentina. Up very high up the field, and it was Sean Johnson so quick off his line to win the ball back for the Fire, but in doing so collided with Canavas, 32 years of age. It's his first year as a pro, Ramiro Canavas, captain of the Silverback Reserves in the MPSL for 4 years. Enjoying his time with the first team, and he gets up and walks back towards his central defensive position. Very important in these situations that the officials assess the players, make sure that Sean Johnson in this situation and Ramiro Canavas is okay. Heads could have collided in that instance in fear of any concussion. Very smart to put a hold of the play for a moment or two and just assess and make sure that Sean Johnson is okay to resume, which he is. Sloppy in the centre of midfield from Jeff Laurentowicz. Logan Paz sat and waited for the ball. Pablo Cruz. Sosa lets it run through to Blair Gavin. Cruz once more. Plenty of shout-outs on Twitter from the Chicago Fire faithful all around the world, all around the country too. Steve Piggott, big shout-out from New York City. Ryan Martin, watching in Auburn. Greetings to you, Ryan. And we can't forget about Modibo, watching in Baltimore. Beautiful night for a bit of football here in Atlanta, Georgia. It's the home side, dominating the majority of this first half in a controversial first half so far. Just 3.5 minutes to go, and Speaking of controversy, Matt Watson is on his last warning from referee Edvin Jurasevich. The Chicago Fire already down to 10 men. Mike McGee dismissed alongside Jesus Gonzalez. Earlier in this half, Matt Watson needs to do all he can to get to halftime and stay on the pitch. Chicago Fire can't afford to be down to 9 men.
Olivia Johnson, Maddie Johnson, Michael Johnson,
Junior Burgos with the free kick opportunity now. As Beto Navarro, the central defender, ventures forward. Burgos, low delivery. Quincy Amarikwa gets there. Amarikwa gets up fast. It's Quincy Amarikwa on the break. Chicago Fire in transition. Good step from Amarikwa, draws the foul. Smart play from Quincy time. Another update for you from another semi-final, 40th minute. Matches started at the same time. Dallas up against Carolina. There's been 3 more goals. It's 2-2. The match finally poised going in toward halftime. And don't forget, the Portland Timbers and the Seattle Sounders face each other a little bit later on, about an hour after this game finishes up. For the latest, Lamar Hunt. Jeff Laurentowicz, back post, good effort. Easy save for Carrillo in goal. Remember, for the latest Lamar Hunt US Open Cup results and information, visit ussoccer.com. Gavin, beautifully played. Ball looking for the onrushing Dion McCauley. Stopped by that man. John Kennedy Hurtado. Now Baki Sumari. Greg Cochran. Logan Paz. Harry Shipp tucks inside, but again, wonderful pressure. Sandoval. Eric Winalda, suspended head coach for the Atlanta Silverbacks, watching behind the goal in the press area. He'll be very pleased with what he's seen so far in the opening 44 minutes from the home side. But the key is Chicago Fire still very much in with a great chance of qualifying for the US Open Cup semi-final. 0-0 at the moment, no goals, plenty of chances. And here comes one more. Blocked. Junior Burgos with the shot. Blair Gavin gets it wide to Cruz. Great control from Cruz as he ventures toward the Chicago Fire box. But when it comes to a physical battle, there's only one winner there, and that's Baki Sumari, who gets it wide now for Matt Watson. Can the Chicago Fire conjure up an opening before halftime? The clock hits 45. We'll see 2 minutes of additional time.
The official time is being kept on the field. The referee has suggested approximately 2 minutes of stoppage time.
Laurentowicz. Plenty of thinking for Frank Yallop, CJ Brown, and Atlanta's very own Clint Mathis at halftime. Clint Mathis, of course, grew up 28 miles in Conyers, Georgia. They're very proud of the boy that single-handedly silenced the South Koreans back in 2002 with a class goal against the host nation. Shipp gets it across to Laurentowicz. In turn, plays it to Amarikwa. Could very well see some changes for the Chicago Fire. Difficult conditions, a lot of players playing a lot of minutes of late. 4 games in 11 days for Frank Yallop's team. That's a sloppy ball from Baki Sumari. Somehow manages to find the feet of Matt Watson. Quincy Amarikwa again under duress from Mike Randolph. Amarikwa does very, very well indeed. And that goes out for a throw to
The Silverbacks would
The
like
Chicago
to wish
Fire.
you happy birthdays tonight. Happy 7th birthday to Eli Bannister. Happy 12th to Nigel Bannister. And happy 13th to Vincent Martinez. Thank you guys for hanging out with us.
It's a foot race now. Bakari Samari, John Kennedy Hurtado, class defending from Hurtado, comes across in great cover. Under pressure from Dion McCauley, the front man, the lone striker for the Atlanta Silverbacks, doing a wonderful job. Pacey striker, stretching his legs up against the Fire back two. Silverbacks win it back as referee Edvin Jurasevich blows for halftime here in Atlanta, Georgia. Scoreless, but plenty of action here at Silverbacks Park. Both Mike McGee and Jesus Gonzalez dismissed for a fracas earlier in the half. Mike McGee seemed to kick out at Gonzalez, and then Gonzalez came across and connected with McGee's head. Looked like a headbutt. All that means now is both managers have a lot to think about at the break. The two teams down to 10 men. It's been the Atlanta Silverbacks, their very first time appearing in a quarterfinal of any competition, showing very well in the first half, creating many opportunities, and looking dangerous on the flanks. Chicago Fire, plenty to ponder. The kings of the cup, 4-time winners, looking for a chance to face the winners of Seattle and Portland on August 13th. What a match that would be for Chicago Fire fans. A possible road trip. Maybe too long for a road trip, but a possible trip to Seattle or Portland. And there's Eric Winalda. Texting a few buddies, maybe texting the man who's taken over tonight, Alejandro Pombo, assigned the reins for the Silverbacks. He'll be in the locker room at the break. Eric Winalda, former Chicago Fire player, scored 13 goals in his brief time with the Fire. I spoke a little bit to Winalda about his debut at Soldier Field against Tampa. He spoke fondly and he kind of laughed about it, saying that after the game he spoke to a lot of guys from Section 8, and they asked him for his jersey, he gave him that. The next guy asked for his shorts, he gave him them. And then he took off his socks and boots, ventured in toward the locker room after the match in only a pair of boxers to be greeted by Peter Novak. What a story, and what a striker. Now managing the Silverbacks, and it's all to play for here in Atlanta, Georgia. Sean Johnson came up big time for the Chicago Fire. A wonderful save off a cross-come shot, and there's been plenty of chances for both sides. We'll leave you now at halftime for a short break. I'm gonna go get a sup of water because it's absolutely roasting still here in Atlanta. Take care, folks. We'll be back very shortly indeed.
This time he'll get it from 12 yards out, and he scores! But Rosny's restart. The header Razov, Klopas scores! Frankie Klopas becomes the hometown hero, and the Fire does the double! His face, here's a chance. Onside, Razov! Yes,
Sorry, guys. It's a matter of competition. Somebody wins and somebody loses. All right, DJ, let's go. You won. You can stay right there. All right, one more time. One more time. Who's it? I hate to tell you, two-time champion has finally been dethroned. All right. And the winner is $100 cash for each one. Thank you all for coming tonight.
And thank you, Henry, and thank you for those who participated. Our final contest, the Dave & Buster's Juggling Competition. We have 3 contestants, make that 4, Olivia, Maddie, Michael Johnson, and Tommy Willis. Each of them will have 1 minute to juggle. The contestant who gets the most consecutive juggles in 1 minute wins a Silverbacks and Dave & Buster's gift bag. All right, contestants, when I say go, we're going to start juggling. We'll have 1 minute. And go! 40 seconds left. At the midway point, 30 seconds. Seconds to go. 10 seconds remaining. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's it. Congratulations. In one other U.S. Open score, late in the first half, FC Dallas 3, the Carolina Railhawks 2. And earlier in the World Cup, Argentina advances on penalties against the Netherlands. It was scoreless at the end of regulation.
And you're very welcome back, folks. Silverbacks Park, Atlanta, Georgia. All square at the half. Chicago Fire looking for their 5th US Open Cup trophy. Kings of the Cup. Scoreless here at halftime, up against a very lively side from the NASL, the Atlanta Silverbacks, dominating in the possession in that first half. Outshot the Fire by 6-2. Sean Johnson was forced into 3 saves. The Fire with no corners, Silverbacks with 2. But the key, defining moments of that first half fell in the 31st minute. Both Mike McGee of the Chicago Fire and Jesus Gonzalez of the Silverbacks dismissed by referee Edvin Jurasevich after a fracas over on the far sideline. Both players given their marching orders. Mike McGee seemed to kick out at Gonzalez, and in turn he seemed to headbutt Mike McGee. But off we go once more. Chicago Fire playing from right to left. No changes for the men in red. Frank Yallop leaving it as is for the start of the second half. Excuse me, I take that back. Lavelle Palmer on this right hand side comes in for the Fire in place of Matt Watson, who had picked up a yellow card. Now Harry Shipp, twinkle toes, takes it inside. Nice direct running early on here from Harry Shipp, and a good tackle from Laurentowicz. Nice robust challenge from Big Red in the centre circle. The new man, Lavelle Palmer. You could see in the huddle right before the second half commenced, Quincy Amarikwa screaming instructions at his teammates, and it looked to me like he was saying, give it to me over the top, give it nice and early, down through the channels and let me run. Logan Pause falls over, and it's the Atlanta Silverbacks. Now that's a blatant offside. And a good decision. Brian Dunn, the assistant referee, over by the benches. We mentioned Mr. Edvin Jurasevich refereed the Soccer Bowl here in November when the New York Cosmos defeated the Atlanta Silverbacks by a score of 1-0. And it was Chicago Fire goalkeeper Kyle Rainish that was spectacular on the day for the Cosmos, making some splendid saves. Now, of course, with the Fire, second in command to Sean Johnson, who was forced into a miraculous save in the first half. It was another poor touch from Logan Pause, gives possession back to the Silverbacks. Now Dion McCauley stretches his legs. The Belize international up against the Colombian, John Kennedy Hurtado.
Come to Kicks and Sticks. It's the place to go for all of your gear and equipment needs. Kicks and Sticks is the largest supplier in Georgia for high school, college, and club uniform.
Greg Cochran gets it clear now to Quincy Amarikwa. Good physical battle. The referee awards a free kick to the Silverbacks. Remember, keep up with all the Mar Hunt US Open Cup updates on Twitter at US Soccer. Nice pressure from Jeff Laurentowicz. Gavin in midfield. The ever impressive Blair Gavin looks for the run, and the ref and his officials kept the flag down. Very important interception from John Kennedy Hurtado. Dion McCauley bearing down on goal as Baki Samari switches the play now. Grant Ward. Grant Ward looks to take it to the byline. He's got support with Lavelle Palmer. Ward up against Randolph. Grant Ward does very well indeed. Great ball across. And the Silverbacks get away with that one. Wonderful wing play from young Grant Ward. A much better start to the second half for the Chicago Fire. Randolph. This time McCauley wants it to feet. Randolph once more. Blair Gavin seems to cover an awful lot of ground in the centre of midfield. A player that couldn't make it at Chivas USA. Doing very well tonight indeed. Now Quincy Amarikwa gets a chance to face the goal. Quincy immediately under pressure from 3 Atlanta players. And does very well to win a free kick to the Chicago Fire in a good position. Harry Shipp will come across to take it. And this is one of those opportunities. If you're the Chicago Fire, you have to put some big guys up forward. Get them into the area. Put Derby Carrillo under pressure in the Atlanta goal. And you see big Baki Sumari, John Kennedy Hurtado and Jeff Laurentowicz make their way into the box. The man who's up for MLS Rookie of the Year, Harry Shipp with the delivery. Wonderful cross, Laurentowicz! Stopped and Quincy Amarikwa pokes it home! There's the goal the Fire fans were waiting for. The opener at Silverbacks Park falls to the men in red, the Chicago Fire. And Quincy Amarikwa doesn't even celebrate, just picks the ball up. And the stadium is silence. The man who's up for MLS Rookie of the Year, Harry Shipp with the delivery. Wonderful cross time. Striker instincts, right place at the right time. But it was all about the commitment from the Chicago Fire to put the big guys into the box. Earlier in the first half, that did not happen. And it's happened here earlier in the second half. And now it's the Major League Soccer team, the Chicago Fire, with a 1-goal lead up against its NASL opponents. How will Atlanta react? Coaches always say the 5 minutes after scoring or conceding, vital parts of a game for concentration and momentum. Burgos tucks inside, gives it back to Cruz. Goes on to that trusty right boot. Cruz with pace. Good block from Greg Cochran. It's a good response from Atlanta. And it's Burgos to take the third corner of the night for the Silverbacks. And now it's their turn. The fans get on their feet. Noise levels elevate inside Silverback Park. From Belize, now strutting his stuff in Atlanta, Georgia. 1-1, 10 on 10. It's all to play for.
Silverback goal on the 54th minute. Number 9, Dion McCauley.
How the dynamic changes in the wonderful game of soccer. Mere moments after Chicago Fire took the lead from a Quincy Amarikwa. A tumble. On the edge of your picture is that man again, Dion McCauley and John Kennedy Hurtado. Sean Johnson takes this one quick. Chicago Fire look to get back into this game nice and quickly. Quincy Amarikwa with the run, stays onside. Amarikwa under pressure. And Sosa, close control from Ferdy Sosa. Just his second appearance of the entire year. Seen by many as a potential weak link, Ferdy Sosa, but he's done very well indeed. Extremely fast and taking the place of Borfor Carr. Again, I should stress, Chicago Fire up against the side under strength. That's a poor cross from Greg Cochran, but it's an under strength Atlanta Silverback side. 3 players dismissed in that wonderful win away from home at Colorado on June 24th. The Silverbacks winners by 2-1, but on the night, star striker Kwadwo Poku, the Ghanaian, dismissed. Jaime Chavez already scored 2 goals in the game. He won the game for the Silverbacks, but then dismissed in that fracas. And Borfor Carr also, as well as coaches Ricardo Montoya and head coach Eric Winalda. Big test of character tonight for this Silverback side to bounce back and get a result for a 3rd time this season against Major League Soccer opposition. They've done very well so far. They've pegged it back. It's 1-1 here in the 56th minute. Greg Cochran does well. Gavin inside to Cruz. Cruz turns back, looks for support and gets it in Canavas. Cruz, direct running from Cruz. Good physical play in the centre from Jeff Laurentowicz. Allowed Baki Samari to come away with the ball. Now Grant Ward gets support on the right-hand side. Lavelle Palmer. Laurentowicz to Ward. Logan pause. And Sumari gets it wide to Greg Cochran. No support on the left-hand side for Cochran. Now there is. Grant Ward comes all the way across. One back by the Silverbacks. Referee. And it was a very close call. Chicago Fire back four did well, just held their ground as Mike Randolph made a committed, smart run in behind from the left full-back position all the way up top. But John Kennedy Hurtado and Baki Samari held their line very well. Logan pause now. Now, Ship, miscontrol. Very rarely you hear that about Harrison Ship. Burgos looks for the shot from distance. And that's an absolute shocker from Junior Burgos. Puts his hand up to his management and his fellow players. Wrong decision. But with a good one if you're a Chicago Fire player. Lavelle Palmer. And that's too easy in the end. Derby Carrillo gets it quickly outside and off go the Atlanta Silverbacks again with another attack, but good pressure in the centre of midfield from Jeff Laurentowicz. Baki Sumari ventures out. Baki Sumari still goes forward. Harry Ship gets it wide to the right-hand side. Lavelle Palmer. Pause. Inside to Laurentowicz. Missed the game on Sunday due to the birth of his first child, Sebastian. Again, congratulations to Jeff Laurentowicz and wife Christy. Back in the side tonight, Harry Ship. Quincy Amarikwa, ever physical. Referee says that it was Amarikwa that fell Canavas. It'll be a free kick to the Silverbacks. For all the latest Lamar Hunt US Open Cup results and information, remember, visit ussoccer.com. Cruz, again, once more, direct approach from Pablo Cruz. Mike Randolph, nice trickery, great footwork from Randolph, cuts it back. Sandoval. Burgos. Sean Johnson, the quick clearance. And Quincy Amarikwa. The referee could give this either way, but it looks like Amarikwa gets awarded the free kick, and he does indeed, and that's a yellow card decision toward Ramiro Canavas, central defender for the Atlanta Silverbacks. Amarikwa doing what he does best, physical approach, backing into Canavas, and forced the big Argentine to commit the foul. And a good position for the Chicago Fire to again commit some big men forward. You can see Canavas all over Quincy Amarikwa. Good decision from Edvin Jurasevich. Grant Ward, Harry Ship around the ball. Here goes Harry Ship. Good delivery toward the back post, but quick feet, solid goalkeeping. Derby Carrillo. Again, the fast approach, trying to catch the Chicago Fire in transition. Here's Randolph. Burgos switches flanks, comes across to the left-hand side, up against two Chicago Fire defenders, and you're not going to beat Lavelle Palmer for pace. The Jamaican athlete gets it clear, does very well indeed. Logan pause to Ship and Laurentowicz in support. Now Chicago Fire's turn in transition. Amarikwa, 1v1 up against Sosa. It's Quincy Amarikwa. Turns Sosa, gets the shot away, and not a bad effort. Quincy Amarikwa looking for his second of the night. End-to-end stuff here. And we're about to see the introduction of the new Chicago Fire striker. The man with the fancy hair. In the 63rd minute, it's time to see Matthew Fondy, former Chivas USA striker. And he comes on for Quincy Amarikwa, the goal scorer. Matthew Fondy, known for his work rate, known for his physicality, and that's one thing he'll make sure he gives you for every second he's on the pitch. Constant pressure. He'll play that high line like Amarikwa.
Chicago substitution in the 63rd minute. Leaving the match, number 24, Quincy Amarikwa. Coming in number 15, Matt Fondy.
What a chance for Matt Fondy. The match poised, level at 1-1. About 30 minutes to play. US Open Cup quarter-final. A chance to shine, a chance to stamp your name down in Chicago Fire folklore. Grant Ward. Laurentowicz under pressure, did well to get it off. Burgos, every single Atlanta Silverback player playing that high pressure. It's worked well. Now Logan Pause. Back to Harrison Shipp. Harry Shipp gets it wide to Matt Fondy. Fondy looks up. That's a forgettable second touch for Matt Fondy. Puts it over the top. In Gaelic football in Ireland, that counts as a point, but counts for very, very little indeed in the game of soccer. Sandoval. Now Cruz. Every time he gets the ball, he looks menacing. Pablo Cruz. Just one of many players that Eric Winalda brought across from Cal FC. From the team that famously upset the Portland Timbers 2 years ago in the US Open Cup. Now Gavin, wonderful delivery. It's Sean Johnson with the big fist. Falls to the right boot of Junior Burgos, gets the shot off. But the man from El Salvador couldn't steer it toward goal. Junior Burgos, an interesting player, actually played Chicago Fire PDL back in 2010. Very attack-minded player, like many of the Atlanta Silverbacks players going forward. Very direct. Here's one of them. And a wonderful through ball. That looked to me to be a little offside against Dion McCauley. But Brian Dunn on the far side kept his flag down. And Sean Johnson, on his return to Atlanta, Georgia, comes up big time once more. Laurentowicz looks for the run of Matt Fondy. It's a good run too. Fondy in behind, gets the shot off. And a great save. One-handed save from Derby Carrillo. That was a class run in behind from Matt Fondy. Well picked out too. It's cup football here in Atlanta, that's for sure. End to end, very attack-minded second half. And it's Ferdy Sosa that went for that ball. It seemed to pull up what looked like a hamstring as he limps away. He tries to run it off. He seems to be doing so. Now Grant Ward in space in the midfield. Quickly closed down again once more. Sandoval. Ward gets it across to Palmer, who feeds Ward once more. Harry Shipp. Cut off by Randolph. Lavelle Palmer. Laurentowicz slows it down in the centre of midfield. Grant Ward switches it to Greg Cochran. Laurentowicz switches the play. Lavelle Palmer. Patient build up here from the Chicago Fire. Harry Shipp finds Logan Pause. The holding midfielder all of a sudden venturing forward. A poor pullback though from Pause. And Sosa clears his lines. But a quality run from the veteran Chicago Fire midfielder. Just found himself in behind the back four of The Silverbacks and Chicago Fire go at it once more. Fondy does very well to hold up the ball. Very well indeed. Grant Ward, again, committed. Tenacious defending from Mike Randolph. Burgos plays it back to Beto Navarro. Dion McCauley again. Smart run in behind. Well tracked by Baki Samari, who gets the block. But it's a corner kick to the home side. Atlanta Silverbacks. The man with the crafty right boot goes across to take it. Junior Burgos. Former Chicago Fire PDL player, now starring in Silverbacks Park. Substitution time.
Silverback substitution in the 69th minute. Leading the match, number 25, Faraday Sosa.
Faraday Sosa, we spoke about the hamstring strain.
Holy!
And we spoke about fancy hair. And it's Alex Harley coming into the game as Chicago Fire clear their lines. Alex Harley goes across to take the throw in. He's the nephew of Tottenham Hotspur striker Emmanuel Adebayor. Alex Harley, a very pacey player all the way from Togo. Emmanuel Adebayor will grace the pitch at Toyota Park in the coming weeks when Tottenham Hotspur take on the Chicago Fire, July 26th. For tickets, visit chicago-fire.com. No-nonsense clearance from Jeff Laurentowicz. Randolph finds Gavin. That's smart play from the Atlanta Silverbacks. Good cover from John Kennedy Hurtado. Well, it hasn't been easy for either side en route to this quarterfinal clash. Chicago Fire ended up winning after a bit of a lightning shower at Toyota Park by 2-1. The game called off not too far after half-time, after about 2.5 hours of delays in total. Winning on the night by 2-1. Goals from Grant Ward, the man with the challenge just moments ago, and also Mike McGee, a player who's been sent off for the Chicago Fire tonight. Here's that challenge one more time. And it was Lavelle Palmer with a raised elbow. You got to be so careful with those raised elbows. As Fire fans will know, Luke Moore received his marching orders recently in the MLS clash at Toyota Park. Luke Moore playing for Toronto. After only 30 minutes, Toronto were down to 10 men. And it was Lavelle Palmer who clattered into what looks like Junior Burgos in the air. But talking about the paths to this quarterfinal, for the Fire, it was that 2-1 win over the Pittsburgh Riverhounds, and then a very entertaining clash against the Columbus Crew at Toyota Park. Patrick Ianni, his first goal since winning MLS Goal of the Year when he played for the Seattle Sounders, with an absolute belter of a goal. And he stepped up big time for the Fire on the night with the opening goal, a committed slide to reach the ball, which he did do. And Columbus came out in the second half, scored 2 goals, and it looked to be going the way of the Crew until the late substitution of Juan Luis Anongano. Now out on loan back in Ecuador, get some playing time. It was Quincy time early in that extra time for the Fire, and Anongano again. The Fire went on to win 4-2. But as for this home side tonight, the Atlanta Silverbacks, a wonderful approach to this quarterfinal. 5-0 win over Chattanooga. Then on June 14th, they beat the side that was in the final last year, Real Salt Lake, last year's runners-up. in both the MLS Cup and the US Open Cup. Now a chance for the new man, Alex Harley, to stretch his legs. Harry Shipp turns very well. Nice ball too. Matt Fondy. Fondy receives support from Laurentowicz, who gets it wide to Lavelle Palmer in space. The ever lively Mike Randolph looks to get in behind after a beautiful 1-2 in the centre midfield with Burgos. Now Randolph takes it to the byline. Randolph gets his cross in, and it's a poor one. Logan Pause. Can't play from the veteran. Now a chance for the Fire to break. It's Grant Ward. Harry Shipp in support on the left-hand side. Fondy through the centre. Grant Ward now. That's a poor ball in the end to Harry Shipp. And it's the Silverbacks' turn. Sandoval. Remember to keep up to date with all Lamar Hunt US Open Cup updates on Twitter using @USSoccer. Burgos. What a beautiful crossfield ball to the onrushing, the man from Togo, Harley. Pulls it back to Dion McCauley. And Dion McCauley, he'll want that one back. Fluffs his lines, a good opportunity for the Silverback striker. 3 goals this season for McCauley. Of course, the men wearing white without 2 of their main strikers suspended for this game. Kwadwo Poku, who's trained with the Seattle Sounders this past week. And also Jaime Chavez receiving a lot of interest from Major League Soccer sides as well. Scored those 2 goals in the game against Colorado. And Burgos again looking for the run over the top of Mike Randolph. Laurentowicz. Palmer puts his palm up and says, "Where's my support?" Didn't receive any. That's wasted possession from the Chicago Fire. Goes across to Harley. If he's anything like his uncle, Emmanuel Adebayor, he's fast, that's for sure. Cruz. Harley once more. Will we see that pace up against Baki Sumari? Tucks inside, nice play from Harley. Looks to pull it back, and that's a committed challenge. John Kennedy Hurtado wins that battle. Gavin to Cruz. Every time Cruz gets the ball, he looks to go forward. Beautiful pass to Burgos, who plays it down to Randolph, and that wasn't too far away. You saw Messi, Higuain and co grace the World Cup stage earlier on today, and that was fancy stuff here in Atlanta, Georgia from the home side. Wonderful crossfield ball. Burgos touched it down to Mike Randolph, and from a left full-back position, he ventured forward with a rasping effort that really wasn't too far away at all. This guy's been lively since coming into the game. Alex Harley. Didn't make a good impression on his first game. Sent off on his debut, May 10th. In a 4-0 loss to Fort Lauderdale. And from watching this game, it's baffling to me that this Atlanta Silverback side found themselves in 8th position in the NASL after the spring season, with a record of 3-1-5. putting on a very, very good show tonight. Gavin looks to shoot. Likes to venture forward, Blair Gavin. And so late on in this match, 78th minute, just 12 minutes of regulation left. You wonder, will Frank Yallop make any changes? You've already seen two. Matt Fondy making his Chicago Fire debut in place of Quincy Amarikwa, and Lavelle Palmer coming in for Matt Watson, who had received a yellow card and looked on the verge of being sent off. Good decision from the coaches to take out Watson, Lavelle Palmer in his place, and it looks to me like Alex is warming up on the bench for the Chicago Fire. The Fire need a bit of a spark in the centre of midfield, and maybe it's Alex's turn.
Or call 800-444-6211.
The Fire in the midst of 4 games in 11 days. 8 games in July. An incredibly difficult stretch for Chicago. Up against the team tonight. An Atlanta side, it's their first match since June 24th. A very well-rested team with quality players too. And let's not take it away from a very good performance so far. But the match finally poised at 1-1. Harry Shipp. 6 goals this season, 4 assists. Feeds it to Grant Ward. Greg Cochran. Cochran once more. Now Greg Cochran with the throw. Alex into the game. Harry Shipp back to Cochran. Former LA man did very well. Can he get a cross in? Shipp. Laurentowicz fancies his chances, takes a deflection, falls to Lavelle Palmer, the Jamaican, gets to the byline, delivers the cross. It's a great touch from Harry Shipp, falls to Matt Fondy. Can Matt Fondy get a shot away inside the area, and the referee points to the spot. It's a penalty to the Chicago Fire. The 81st minute. And it was the clever footwork of Harry Shipp and Matt Fondy that created the opportunity. And somewhat against the run of play, Chicago finds themselves with a wonderful opportunity to take the lead. Great footwork from Harry Shipp, and then it's Fondy gets on the ball. Great touch and a good decision from Edvin Jurasevich. Points to the spot, and it's the man who just became a father on Sunday. Will he get some baby look? Jeff Laurentowicz, his newborn Sebastian, watching at home. Father Jeff with a chance to put the Fire in front with just over 8 minutes left of regulation. The Fire looking to qualify for the US Open Cup semi-final. It's Jeff Laurentowicz. He scores! Laurentowicz celebrates with his teammates, walks away with the head down, and that's leadership from Big Red. Straight down the middle, unlucky from the goalkeeper. Derby Carrillo not too far away. And Derby Carrillo, the head down on the edge of his 6-yard box. Devastated. But it looked like a clear foul. It looked like Randolph, who had taken down the new Chicago Fire striker, Matthew Fondy. And a great impact from Fondy early on in his Fire career. Now Alex, tempted to shoot. Alex lets rip, blocked. Laurentowicz, Dion McCauley now. This match has just got a lot more interesting. The majority of the game controlled by the home side, the Atlanta Silverbacks. The Chicago Fire now with a 2-1 lead. Burgos switches the play beautifully. Harley with the ball, tucks inside. It's Alex Harley, gets the shot away. Alex Harley looking for his first goal of his Atlanta career. And he saw his name in lights and skied his effort over the bar. When it comes to switching the play, you can clearly see that it's on the agenda for Atlanta. Excellent at doing so. Fondy not happy with that decision. Goes in favor of Atlanta. Building from the back. Canovas to Sandoval. Sandoval dropping an awful lot deeper. It's a great first half battle we saw between Junior Sandoval and Greg Cochran. What a run it's been for the Atlanta Silverbacks in this tournament. Remember, this is the first time this club has ever appeared in a quarter-final of a competition. It hasn't fazed them. They've performed admirably from the get-go. Chicago Fire played a very patient game, and it's the MLS side with the lead right now. 5.5 minutes of regulation to play. Alex, the Brazilian, has support from Grant Ward, plays it through to Ward. Saved, and it's Alex once more! It's a third for the Fire! Brazilian magic in Atlanta, Georgia. The super sub Alex gives the Fire a cushion. And the Chicago Fire faithful that have traveled that large journey, 12-hour drive from the Windy City all the way to Atlanta, Georgia, absolutely loving the last few minutes. To Pete, Marty, Julio, Edith and Giaco and all the crew on that camper van, looks like you've made a good trip. Blair Gavin, can he spark a revival for the home side? They're getting frustrated now as Chicago find numbers going forward. Alex Hartley, he missed a glorious chance when he tucked inside to pull a goal back that would have brought the game to 2-2. And that late challenge from Baki Sumari brings out the yellow card from referee Edvin Jurasevich. Good chance now for the home side to whip one in. It'll be Junior Burgos once more from the right foot.
Chicago yellow card in the 86th minute.
Blair Gavin makes way, number 5 for Atlanta. Performed in fantastic fashion tonight for the home side. Burgos with the free kick. Oh, he went for it. And the ball bounces viciously off the rubber surface, and Sean Johnson gets it away. And onto the field now. Former Chicago Fire homegrown talent Kellen Gully back with the Atlanta Silverbacks. Can he make an impact against his old club? Well, the Chicago Fire needed a spark in midfield, and they got it from Alex. Right place, right time. Once more, Cruz turns. And it's this time it's Lavelle Palmer. Quality play out of the back from Lavelle Palmer. Receives support from Harry Shipp. Palmer tucks inside. Now he sees Shipp. Now Laurentowicz. It's Kellen Gully who wins the ball back for the home side. Burgos. Nice ball through. No messing around from Baki Sumari. Chicago Fire on the verge. We're talking US Open Cup semi-final time. Mere 5 or 6 minutes away. Pablo Cruz makes way now. Another player for the Atlanta Silverbacks performed very well tonight. Mitch Garcia into the game. Randolphs looks to switch it to Alex Harley, but it falls for the Fire once more. Is there a fourth? There for the Chicago Fire. It's Alex. He feeds Grant Ward. Ward tucks it inside to the right boot, gets the shot off. Not too far away. Chicago Fire finding energy late on. Grant Ward picks himself up. Has to defend. Harley. Beautiful ball to Kellen Gully. Gully goes down very easy. Now it's Dion McCauley. And look who's back defending. He didn't matter. Didn't care where it went. Matt Fondy. And that is a yellow card for Bakari Sumari. It looked like may have been for John Kennedy Hurtado. Laurentowicz.
Chicago yellow card in the 90th minute, number 34.
Sandoval. Now Kellen Gully. Alex quick to intercept. Played well since he's come into this game, Alex. And he receives it once more, this time facing the Atlanta goal. Tucks inside. Good composed play from Alex. Laid on now, all about Chicago keeping possession. Laurentowicz doesn't do so. Burgos. Support from Harley. Great tracking back, great tackle from Grant Ward, flat out on his feet. It's been an exhausting match here in Atlanta. That's great tracking back though from Grant Ward. Wonderful discipline from the young player.
Approximately 3 minutes is stoppage time. 3 minutes.
Garcia. Kellen Gully. Very deep since he's come into this game, Kellen Gully. Now he ventures more forward toward Dion McCauley. Good positional sense now from Lavelle Palmer. And Lavelle Palmer wins a free kick to the Fire. 90 minutes is up. Frank Yallop, Clint Mathis, CJ Brown, Aaron Hyde, and the rest of the Chicago Fire coaching staff and all the players on the verge of a trip to either Seattle or Portland. That match will be on August 3rd. And what a contest that promises to be. I'm sure plenty of Chicago Fire fans will make that trip to maybe create a little bit of history. The Fire looking for a 5th US Open Cup success. The Kings of the Cup very much in the hunt this year. It's been an exhausting match. This looks like it'll be a wonderful win for the Fire as the last few seconds tick down. Alex Harley under pressure from Alex and Greg Cochran. As fans start to leave here at Silverbacks Park. Lightning en route. Also, lightning in the sky a few miles away. Chicago Fire now on the cusp of victory. Fans from all over the world, all over the United States of America as well, tuning into this stream. We thank you very much for watching indeed. Chicago-fire.com, where all the action is. And you've seen plenty of action tonight. 4 goals, 2 red cards, plenty of end-to-end fantastic soccer. And it's your Chicago Fire, mere moments away now. Wonderful trickery from Mike Randolph. Can he create an opportunity late on? Garcia looks up, delivers a cross, but there's Greg Cochran to steer it away. Silverback supporters looking for a handball on Lavelle Palmer. Didn't get it. Burgos. Look at the work rate of Matthew Fondy. Didn't matter. Jurasevich, the referee, awards a free kick. Burgos, beautiful position for a right-footed player. Looking to in-swing this one. Takes a shot, and that's an awful, poor, frustrated effort from Junior Burgos on a frustrating night for the Atlanta Silverbacks. MLS Slayers no more. The referee blows the final whistle. It's been a wonderful journey for the Atlanta Silverbacks. It comes to an end in the US Open Cup quarterfinal for the Chicago Fire. It's all about the win. An exhausting contest in severe heat here in Atlanta, Georgia. Chicago Fire prevail by 3-1. Quincy Amarikwa, Jeff Laurentowicz and Alex with the goals. The penalty came against the run of play. Very welcome penalty. A challenge from Mike Randolph on the new man. Matt Fondy inside the box, awarded the penalty. That was the match-changing decision. A real moment here in this match. And up-stepped Jeff Laurentowicz for a bit of baby luck. Drilled it straight down the middle. Laurentowicz 100% from the spot this season. You saw him score against Portland earlier in the year. He took this one home to put the Fire 2-1 up. And then substitute Alex provided that little bit of spark in midfield. There's Clint Mathis. Grew up 28 miles away in Conyers, Georgia. It's been a wonderful trip home for Mathis. He's adored here in his home state of Georgia. World Cup veteran from 2002, scored a cracker of a goal against South Korea. Job done for the Chicago Fire. Kings of the Cup in search of their 5th trophy. And guess what? You can smile, Fire fans. The Chicago Fire have just won on turf for the first time since 2011. It's been an entertaining game here at Silverbacks Park. A real roller coaster of a match. The Fire took the lead. Silverbacks equalised, but before that there were 2 men sent off. Let's not forget that. Jesus Gonzalez for the Atlanta Silverbacks and the MVP, Mike McGee, for the Chicago Fire. But it didn't matter. Job done for Chicago. Onwards and upwards for the Fire. Next up, Portland or Seattle. But don't forget the big MLS clash this weekend, away against the New England Revolution. For me, Kevin Egan, it's been an absolute joy bringing you the quarterfinal of the US Open Cup. For the Fire, it's been a great win. 3-1 here in Atlanta. For my partner, Dan Kelly, he always says it, good night and good soccer.
penis. That is all.